sometimes I forget to hit the record button, and I've just done that. Had a whole chat to you and then wondered why I couldn't see how long I had been, and it was because I hadn't actually started to record. So here I am. Just felt this morning I wanted to get to the river and have a little bit of river time. Nothing really wrong when I had a pretty good sleep last night, but sometimes I just want to come here and sit. Just come and sit. Just be on the river, which I'm doing, and it's beautiful. There's water in the river at the moment. There hasn't been very much at all, but we've had quite a lot of rain, and especially up in the hills, so it's come down. And to see the water flowing as it is today is just beautiful. And all the wattles are out along the banks. The cootamundra wattle is the first one, and then the black wattle, I think. But the cootamundra one is the one that I see mostly, and it's got the most beautiful feathery leaves, I should say, feathery leaves, blue-grey. It's so pretty. And I often think about how the early settlers came and they hacked their way into the bush, and it was all grey, green gum trees, and sometimes pale trunks, sometimes dark trunks. And then in the middle of winter, the wattle started to bloom, and there would be this beautiful yellow, bright little balls of golden sunshine that appeared. It must have warmed their hearts, especially the women, and the women who really bore the brunt of it all. The husband probably had the idea to come, and she of course loved him, and that was her life with him, and so they came, and 6 months maybe, trip on the ship coming out from England. Or if you think of the convicts coming out in the convict ships all huddled together under the decks in the dark. It's so hideous, I can't even really think about it. And then they landed, and it was all completely different landscape, just gum trees everywhere. And as I say, when the first wattles appeared, it must have felt as though God was blessing them, I think, in a really very stark country, where they would have been anxious and worried, and they had to build their shelters, they had to build everything so that they would have some warmth, some feeling of home. So I'm very grateful to my people who came out here, and I know that such a lot of kerfuffle with Aboriginal, the Indigenous people we call them now, and I'm actually pretty proud of my ancestors because they made friends. It was their land, really, when you think about it, but the Indigenous people have kept in touch with my family that live in this particular spot. Always. They absolutely recognise they can come and do their special ceremonies there. It's a really good story. But, of course, they did take the land, and that's not such a good story, but we wouldn't all be here. It's one of those conundrums that can never be worked out, I think. The good and the bad, the evil and the beautiful. So I think what we have to do is just remember that we're all part of this land, and respect each other. I really do. Anyway, my waffle wasn't intended to go that way, but it just has. So I think some more knitting today. I've been knitting my pink jumper, it seems, for about 10 years. It's not, but that's how it feels. And I've got about maybe 10 centimetres, maybe not that much more, of the second sleeve, and then I always do top-down jumpers so I can extend the ribbing around the bottom of the jumper, because I think it's just a bit short. So that's on my agenda. And see that we've got some food. Go to the supermarket in a minute. I hope this chat is reasonably interesting. I feel as though I'm just chatting to my friends. So, oops, there I wobbled again. But I'm now going to turn it around and show you the river if I can. So it will wobble a bit while I do this, but just bear with me because it's beautiful.